Okay, so what is a marriage? Genesis 2:24, a marriage is arranged by the parents. A bride who is not a virgin gets stoned to death. She doesn't get to be married, but it is a man and a woman. Although Genesis 38 says that if a man dies, his brother has to marry the man's wife. And in Deuteronomy 22, if a man rapes a virgin, she must marry him, or he must marry her, and pay 50 shekels to her father. Genesis 16, when he marries his wife, he also can take all of her slaves as sexual partners. Numbers 31, Deuteronomy 21, in a war, male soldiers can... Well, in fact, Moses ordered the Israelites to kill all the Midianite men, women, and children, except for the virgin girls who became wives to the soldiers. They could have as many as they wanted. And then, of course, you got polygamy: Lamech, Esau, Jacob, Ashur, Gideon, Solomon, most famously, 700 wives. And then Exodus 21, your female slaves can also be your wives. As Betty Bowers, America's Best Christian, says, here's the summary of biblical marriage.
So let's recap the Lord's idea of the perfect marriage. It is between one man and his sister, and her rapist, kitchen condiment, gal who's kidnapped and raped a few more women, an adulterer, and a pack of raped whores, 700 wives, 300 concubines, and the help, and a son who has murdered his brother. But it is not between one man and another man, because, well, that would be immoral.
Point Radio on AFR Talk. American Family Association, AFA.net is the website. Brian, welcome back to the program.
Tom, good to be with you.
I understand, A, you disagree with the biblical definition of marriage, and B, that on Thursday this week you've got a march in Washington, D.C. To promote your own particular perspective on marriage.
No, actually, I agree with the biblical definition of marriage, God's definition of marriage.
So you think if my brother dies, I've got to marry his wife?
Genesis 2:24, you quoted it, Tom. Marriage is the union of one man and one woman. Jesus confirmed that in Matthew 19 when he quoted Genesis 2:24. Marriage is the union of one man and one woman. So I agree with Jesus' definition of marriage, yes.
So Genesis 16 is irrelevant?
1 Corinthians 7:2, if you're talking about Christianity, which is what we're talking about here, Paul said each man should have his own wife, each wife should have her own husband. I agree with the Christian definition of marriage, the Bible's definition of marriage, God's definition of marriage, Jesus' definition of marriage.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with
So you're ignoring all these other definitions that are in the Bible?
Well, it's nice of you to throw all that chaff in the air, Tom, but we're talking here about the basic definition of marriage. It's never changed, Genesis 2:24. Jesus said in Matthew 19, you had these various exceptions. From the beginning, he said, it was not this way. So we're going back to the original blueprint, one man, one woman for life. That's marriage.
From one religion. Okay.
Well, from God. I mean, God made man, so he has the right to, he designed us for marriage. He knows what he's talking about. The owner's manual says one man, one woman.
Yeah, for your God. I got it.
For the God. There's only one God, Tom. And the God is for man and woman.
You know, Muslims who are also Abrahamic, allow, many Muslim countries allow 4 wives. Israel allows 4 wives. Or at least they used to. Maybe they changed the law since then. But in any case, tell me about your march.
Well, we're marching on Thursday to protect marriage. We believe natural marriage is the institution that God designed for human happiness, as the cornerstone for civilization, as the place where sexual expression can be legitimately enjoyed, and the best environment for children. So yes, you better believe we support it. We're going to march to defend it.
So how does my friend Carl marrying his partner Gary destroy your marriage?
Same way that the circulation of counterfeit $20 bills diminishes the value of the currency in your wallet.
I don't understand.
Counterfeits diminish the value of the real thing.
So you're saying that if somebody's gay, that their love is counterfeit? That they're not as human as you are?
No, I'm saying their marriage is counterfeit.
You're saying that their love doesn't count. Their love is counterfeit.
That's a counterfeit marriage. Now, they're human beings made in the image of God, so they're capable of making better sexual choices.
Whew. You really believe this, Brian? Do you realize how? Do you have any idea how bigoted you sound?
Tom, let me ask you one question. Do you think I care whether you personally think I'm a bigot or not?
I doubt it. I don't think you would be saying these things, but what I've noticed over the years is typically the only men who I've encountered who wake up every morning worried about gay people who present themselves as straight are in fact not straight. They're either bisexual or they're gay, and they've been fighting it their whole lives. And they these are the people who assume that people are making choices. I don't know of any gay people who said yeah, I made a choice to be gay. Now you could choose to be in the closet, I suppose, which is, I guess, what you're advocating.
Oh, the latest research from the United Kingdom, Tom, and I realize you may not be current on the latest scientific research here, but they've indicated that while they think genes may play some role in influence, homosexual behavior is always at the end of the day a matter of choice. That's the latest in scientific genetic.
So you're telling me, Brian, that for you could have sex with a man and enjoy it, that it's a matter of choice.
I'm telling you that the best and the latest in medical, scientific, and biological research indicates that nobody is born gay. Sexual behavior always is a matter of choice.
So you could have sex with a man and enjoy it, but you're choosing not to.
Sexual behavior is always a matter of choice. God has designed sexual behavior for the marriage relationship between one man and one woman. That's what we're going to celebrate and defend on Thursday.
Okay. Well, respectfully, it's not a matter of a choice for me. I would not enjoy having sex with a man, frankly. I do enjoy having sex with my wife. And that's
what you were designed for, Tom. You were operating according to God's blueprint. Good for you.
But if a gay person if a gay man does not enjoy having sex with women, or a gay woman does not enjoy having sex with men, you want them. I'm at a loss for words here. You want them to deny their own sexuality and behave the way that you have chosen to, because you appear to think that this is a choice.
Well, nobody is born gay. I'm not the one that's saying this, Tom. It's the latest in scientific research. You're welcome to.
Yeah, that and cigarettes don't cause cancer and global warming isn't real. Yeah,
Well, you're welcome to deny the latest in research, Tom. But we believe we ought to be science-based in our approach to
No, you don't,
policy.
Brian. This has got nothing to do with science. So you believe that you should be able to quote the Bible and ignore large chunks of the Bible.
Well, Tom, perhaps you're not aware of the research from the Centers for Disease Control. Again, this is not the
Brian,
Bible.
Again, I have to ask this question.
But Tom,
if being straight or gay for you is a choice, is that because you're bisexual?
Finish my thought. If you want to let me finish my thought, Tom, Centers for Disease Control indicate that homosexual behavior is just as risky to human health as intravenous drug use. I believe our policies ought to be the same for both. Intravenous drug use is the choice, so is homosexual behavior.
So you have the ability, you, Brian Fisher, have the ability to choose to be straight or gay.
No, human beings have the capacity to
You don't have the ability to choose.
Human beings have the capacity to make correct moral choices when it comes to sexual behavior.
I think that's only true of bisexuals.
True of everybody. Tom, you're a free moral.
I think you're judging the world by yourself, Brian. It's not true of everybody. Straight people generally have no interest in having sex with people of their same sex, and gay people generally have no interest in having sex with people of the opposite sex. Only bisexuals can make a choice.
Well, that's fine, Tom. You can go ahead and continue to ignore the latest in biological and scientific and medical.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Okay, Brian, we're talking in circles here. AFA.net is the website. Thank you for dropping by, Brian.
Welcome, Tom. Anytime.
Good luck with your choices.